Good afternoon. This is Mark at the Wicked Edge Expert Corner Group, and today we're talking about Gen 3 Pros. I want to go through the aspects of a basic Gen 3 Pro. This is a newer one, and give you a little history on it, and then we're going to go through and talk about some user tips and then some maintenance, and we're going to do a little bit of disassembly, and we're going to upgrade this with a stable riser, clamping system, and new micro adjusters. And we'll see how that goes, whether we're going to do it in one long video or most probably in several videos. The way you can tell, let's start with trying to identify the age of a Gen 3 Pro. This one I can tell right away because it has two-piece adjusters. The adjuster screw, micro adjuster screw, that you screw closer to the vise or the knife center line or further away, and then you lock it up. While you hold this, you lock that up, and there's even a hex screw a hex tool that Wicked Edge provides that lets you lock that up. So that's the two-piece micro adjuster. This is on the newer ones. The first version, Gen 3 Pro, the original one had a narrow bracket that was sloped. And it was like the brackets on the Wicked Edge 120. On the ProPack 2, it had the micro adjusters that you turned in and out either with a wrench or with this hex screw. And then when you got your cube reading where you wanted it, then you locked it down with a thumb screw, and that simply pressed against the threads. That was the first version. Gen 3 Pro had the narrow brackets with that kind of adjusters. And because this boogered the threads in here on the Gen 3 Pro first version and the Wicked Edge 130s and 120s, that's why we came up with the micro adjuster upgrades that we're going to get to in a later part of this video or in subsequent videos. So the first Wicked Edge 130 had this type of locking system and bracket. The newer ones have the two-piece like this. All of them have a gross angle that rotates both brackets, gross angle, closer and further away from the center line. As it rotates, you can see bars here that slip inside, and it's got a ratchet to it. Now, once you get close to your angle, then you dial it in with the micro adjusters and lock them up. That is for using a digital angle cube with the Gen 3 Pro. And a real quick user tip with the Gen 3 Pro is to take the screw off so you can take the handle off if you choose to. It gives you the ability, if the screw is in and the handle is locked, it's decided for you which way you use the handle. It only goes down or up in that same orientation. But by loosening it, it swivels here. So it gives you all kinds of choices. Say if it's clamped tight on a thick spine knife, it's easier to release it pushing down than that thick spine knife if it was in the original orientation and it was locked like this. then you're lifting against the spring. And if it's not on weight or the pedestal, you can almost lift it off on a thick spine knife. There's nothing in here right now, so it clicks easy. So by having the ability, when it's locked, to have the handle rotate where you want it, you could do that little controlled push, and it doesn't snap. For you guys that have used it with a thick knife, you know what I mean. It's a snap. So that's a user tip. Take your handle off, and then when you're working, you can take it off and set it out of the way, or you can put it like that, as long as the spline is set up. So that is a user's tip from me. Let me give you another pro tip, pro user's tip. This is heavy. You'll notice this is scuffed. Before I sharpen, I paint it black. Each time, start with a freshly painted vise. Then you can see vise advice. I like that. Freshly touched up vise, then a jaw. Then you can see if you are scuffing it again. So that's another user's tip. I'm going to do one more quick one because this is where we're at, is going around the back side. And this is the tensioning device on the Gen 3 Pro. And it's full off to full on. And if you look in this hole, you see brass and that silver moon is falling down and the brass is gone. And what that does is, as you tension it, you are compressing the jaws just a little bit closer. Now the jaws are spread wide, and that little ball floats up and pushes the jaws just a little bit shut. So what happens for the same full throw, when it's in zero tension, that full throw has to compress more space. Whereas if you pre-tension it, then that full throw, starting already holding the knife, and then for its full throw, it can tension tighter, and the jaws squeeze tighter, compress, and they flex. So that is how this works. It is a preset. By lifting this whole apparatus in here, by lifting it, it moves the jaws closer, tighter to preset, and then you start tighter to be able to end up tighter. Thank you.